Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are reacting to episode 40 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And in the last episode, Olivier has been removed from Briggs. She has gone back to Central. Al is finally having his body reject his soul. He's getting more visions of his body in the doorway, trying to reach out because yeah, we knew this was kind of coming. It's been hinted at for a while, but we've never really seen it. We've seen like little bits where like Al has struggled, but this is really sort of driving home the point that he really doesn't have that much time left before his body fails and his soul kind of is left to wander because it can't find his body. As to what would happen then, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, his body is pulling on his soul. It wants his soul, but his soul can't reach it yet because they're trying to get it. It's incredibly frustrating, but maybe they can get this Philosopher's Stone off of Kimberly and that can help them. I'm not entirely sure. But we also have Al trying to get to them before they get to Briggs because Briggs is no longer safe because they are in Central, because they are wanting to create a conflict there so they can sacrifice more people to fulfill this alchemical circle that they have been creating. And then they were talking about like the sacrificing of people, but again, they're obviously sacrificing people to make a Philosopher's Stone, but what is this Philosopher's Stone going to be used for? What's it going to be powering? That's my main sort of question. I'm still not entirely sure. This show is very good at keeping its secrets close to its chest. We know that there's equivalent exchange. We know that the Philosopher's Stones are created by sacrificing people. We know that the Elric brothers are considered sacrifices, Hohenheim and Azumi, and they need another person in order to fulfill this. We know that they tried to make a doorway before and it's a failed doorway. We know that there is something about wanting to open the doorway. So are they making the Philosopher's Stone to overpower the doorway because there's a secret behind it? I'm not entirely sure. But I was editing back a previous episode and Risa's father was talking about how he's perfected his research for alchemy that could be incredibly destructive if in the hands of the wrong people, that it's so all powerful that it needs to be kept away. And then Risa has a tattoo on her back and there's like burn marks where almost like potentially there's important crucial information that would tie the research together that's been removed in order to prevent someone from just being able to look at the symbol on her back and have it all figured out. So she could have it locked away in her memory but then removed it from her back in order to prevent anyone from getting the full picture from whatever she carries on her. Because I think when he says, my daughter has my research, it's the tattoo. So is this research then connected to what they're wanting to create a Philosopher's Stone for? So it can't be for the destruction of the country, but maybe the destruction of all the other countries around it. So then they're the only ones surviving, that they're the only ones that are in complete and utter control and power? Or is it because they want to rival God? They want to be the complete and utter ruler of the entire world, that's essentially what they're trying to do. I don't know if maybe that's too simplistic or whether that is actually the premise, that they're trying to be the ultimate ruler of everything, that they want this uncontrollable, unstoppable power. But I'm still confused. I'm still lost. But without further ado, we're going to get into episode 40.
だが証拠を残す具は犯すまい。
He's in the concrete.
まあいい。我々の仕事はこの砦を掌握することだ。あのメギツネがセントラルで虎の群れに囲まれている間にな。
Well, she can hold her own, but she knows what they're trying to do.
ん？これは少々閣下。貴様がセントラル勤務とはな。大総統閣下に呼ばれてきた。北へはしばらく戻れんかもしれんな。戻れない。では、ぜひ一度食事でも。おごりか。
So we can talk about
貴
things.
様が破産するまで食べていいなら言ってやるぞ。食事は諦めます。肝と財布の小さい男だな。
Ooh. Spicy. I love her.
いい花屋が多いですから。
そうか。
It's also coded.
閣下ともあろうお方が、あのような粗骨者を傍らに置いておかれるとはどういうことでしょうか。
だから始末したのかね。
いらんでしょう、あれは。あのような口の軽い輩がいては、閣下のためになりません。
Is she gonna play him at his own game?
この国の成り立ち、閣下の正体、聞きもしないことをいろいろ教えてくれました。
He was a blabbermouth.
あのアホが座っていた席をもらい受けるため。
Oh, she's gonna try target from the inside.
面白い。それでこそだ。よろしい。君に席を与えよう。代わりにブリッグズ砦は私の手の者が治めるが良いな。
手塩にかけた屈強な兵たちです。必ずや閣下のお気に召すでしょう。
気に入ったぞ。したたかにあがけよ、人間。
His own arrogance is gonna be his downfall. He can't fathom that a human could be one to outwit him, to outsmart him.
主が不在であろうと、一つの意志のもとに動くことができる巨大な
She trusts
一枚
them. See, this is the thing. He genuinely thinks he's above humans, that he's better than all of them. And it can't ever cross his mind that a human could be smarter than him, that they could outwit him. He's not quite registering that Olivier is biding her time. She's going to take him apart from the inside because she trusts the men that she's left behind in Briggs to make sure that Briggs doesn't fall into the hands of Central, that they don't repeat the calamities that they've created in other places. Briggs will stand strong because they're a monolith. They act together. So she's so amazing. I love Olivier. She's probably one of my favorite characters, but it's just the way that Raph just continuously underestimates humanity and underestimates humans. And that's going to be his ultimate downfall in the end, is that he just can't fathom that they are smarter than him, that they could work together against him.
食事中もやっておかないと追いつかんよ。そっちはどうだ？
覚えることが多くてそれなりに忙しいです。でも閣下は仕事が早いので助かります。何よりサボりませんし。
He's like, thanks. I know that's a dig at me.
スカーが今北にいるとか。エルリック兄弟も北ですよ。
そうか。
The way they're tapping, is that like Morse code? Or is it just to get each other's attention? It's code.
オスカー、マイク、ユニ、ノラ、チャーリー。お、ユニが来て、最後はスターリング。セリム・ブラッドレイはホムンクルス。
Amazing.
一体、このセントラルで何が起きようとしている？
Central looks like an alchemical symbol as well from above. Like, it looks like one too. The way that it's been designed and laid out.
少年。ねえ、そこの君。
いけない。
大丈夫。
Huh? Is this the father?
驚いたらなんかくれるのか？
ああ、物おじしないのが気に入った。君の名前は？
23号。
Number 23?
本当の名前を教えてくれよ。
ねえよ。奴隷だもん。
君頭悪いんだ
What
な。
the fuck is going off?
なぜこんなの
Going
か
off, going on.
私が
I'm
生まれたのか
confused.
さっぱりわからない。
Whoa,
君だろ
what?
私に血をくれたのは。君が
So
血をくれ
there's
たから
something in the
私はこの世
bloods.
に生まれ出た。やっぱり23号では側見がない。
Is this Hohenheim?
テオフラストス・ボンパストゥス。え
Bombastus?
そうか、長いのは覚えられないんだね。頭悪いから。それじゃバンホーエンハイムでどう？
Okay, so Hohenheim gave his blood. This thing in the flask was born from Hohenheim's blood. So is the thing in the flask develop into the father as like an individual, because it has like a life of its own, a mind of its own. It's like insulting and bantering with Hohenheim. So Hohenheim was a slave. His blood was used for this experiment. This experiment culminated in being the father. But what's in Hohenheim's bloodline that would mean that his blood could create this being? Are they linked to this founder, this, what was he, a sage that spread alchemy to the West? Is that the bloodline they descend from? What's going on? What's happening? So is the thing in the flask the father, and that is the thing born from Hohenheim's blood, but how? What's in Hohenheim's blood that would allow this to happen and for this to work? And that still doesn't explain how Hohenheim goes on to live for like 200, 300 years.
そんなものできなくたって仕事はできる。
奴隷の仕事。
Wow, rude. Is it gonna try and get him to rebel?
人間としての権利を手に入れないまま。
It's gonna be like, you could have all this power. It's gonna coerce him into being freed. Like, if you free me, I can give you power and control.
お前はなんだ。なんと呼べばいい。
フラスコの中の小人、ホムンクルスとでも呼んでもらおうか。
What if what happened at Xerxes resulted in the self being split because they were in conflict about what happened at Xerxes, but also granted them the ability to both live long lives, to be immortal in a sense? Maybe. I'm so lost. I'm so confused.
すなわち1は善。
1により善があり、もはや立派な錬金術師だな。
感謝しているよ。
何が？
知識をくれたおかげでこうしていい暮らしができている。いずれ誰かと結婚し家庭を持つことだって夢じゃない。
家庭ね。人間は不便だな。そうやってコミュニティを持って繁殖せねば種を存続できない。
繁殖とか言うな。そういうものに幸せってのがあったりするんだよ。俺たち人間は。
そんなものかね。
Which is why he values his sons so much, because he never thought he'd be able to have a wife and kids. Because obviously something happens here that prevents it. Oh no. Hohenheim is gonna let him out. And then this is when everything's gonna fuck up.
そっちに行くのかね。
不老不死できるのかできないのか。
老いによる焦りか。悲しいね。クセルクセそう。
Xerxes!
いいよ。不老不死の方法を教えてやろう。
Oh, I'm so confused. But also everything's kind of coming into place, but I feel like I'm not quite able to put it all together yet. He's going to tell him how to gain immortality, which is then used to make this Philosopher's Stone in Xerxes, which then frees this fucking homunculus, but also Hohenheim is going to be set on this path of ensuring that this evil that's been released is stopped, because Hohenheim is going to make the mistake of letting this thing out. It's crafty. It's given him this knowledge to make him have a better life, to gain the ability to have a family and get married, and that's all he's ever wanted. But because of this and what happens in Xerxes, he probably isn't able to have the life that he wanted until fucking centuries later when he meets Trish and he has the boys, and that's why he values them so much, and he's so scared of corrupting them and things going wrong, because that's all he's ever wanted, and he's had to wait hundreds of years for that to happen. Holy shit.
何の工事なんだ？灌漑用水路だよ。国王の命で国中に水路を張り巡らせるんだ。
It's not irrigation, it's an alchemical symbol.
いいか、一人残らず始末しろ。はあ。
And then they slaughtered everyone as sacrifices to power it.
早く地の門を刻むのだ。
北の村が襲われたんだって。
一人残らず殺されたって。
この前は西の村だ。何者の仕業なんだろう。
ひどい話だ。
大変だね。
Oh god.
念願の錬成陣が完成いたしました。
All this to be immortal. It's Hohenheim that becomes immortal, isn't it? It's Hohenheim that's cursed with immortality. Because Hohenheim sees it as a curse, and he seeks to undo it.
これが不老不死。
They've all been manipulated.
留心にいる我々には害は及ばないと。おい、ホモンクルス。
遠征人の真の中心は
Where Hohenheim has stood.
何？
私の中の君の血を使って扉を開けさせてもらった。
You're going to be immortal. The Hohenheim technically is the reason for Xerxes being sacrificed. Not intentionally, but what the fuck though? What? And this is technically the first homunculus. The father's going to be that homunculus that was in the flask, right? I'm throwing so many theories out of the wall because one of them's got a stick. I'm so lost.
誰か返事をしてくれ。無理だな。皆魂を抜かれている。国王陛下。
No.
ご無事でしたか。
It's the thing that was in the flask that looks like him because it's of his blood.
具合はいいか。俺が
So technically, that's the first homunculus.
入れ物を作らせてもらったよ。やれやれ。
Oh my god.
やっと自分の足で歩ける。血をくれた霊に名を与えた。知識を与えた。そして朽ちぬ体を与えた。
But that's not what he wanted.
聞こえるだろう。お前が不死身になるための引き換え
No
になった
wonder he thinks he's a
この国
monster.
のすべての人間の声が協力感謝するよ、ホーエンハイム。
Poor Hohenheim. Holy shit.
やっぱり。
My mind is blown.
いや、まさかエドとアルの親御さんだったなんて。
Holy
そ
fuck.
ちらこそ息子たちの先生だったとは大変世話になったようで
Did he teach Azumi?
見てあげよう。私は医術を少しかじっている。
大丈夫。いつものだから。
これは大丈夫じゃない。何を犠牲にした。ごまかさないでくれ。
中を持っていかれた。死んだ子供を蘇らせようとして。
そうか。
Can he heal her?
ちょっと失礼。
泉、しっかりしろ。
あんた落ち着いて。大丈夫だから。
腹刺されたんだぞ。
でも呼吸が楽になった。
He brought it back. So is he the key to getting Al's body back? He must be.
臓器はあなたの罪の証だから戻せないけど、腹の中をちょいと整理して血の流れを良く
Oh,
していた。
okay.
ホーエンハイム。
So he helped, but he can't return
一体何
them.
者。
私はバンホエンハイムという人間の形をした賢者の石だ。
The Philosopher's Stone that they wanted all along to get their bodies back is their father.
賢者の石にいくつもの名前があるように、形状は石であるとは限らない。マルコさんが持っていたのは半液体状だった。
In order to take the form of a
キュウリの宝
person.
石みたいなやつで、大きさはこれぐらい。
It's also why the other homunculus, the father, didn't have to do equivalent exchange.
バカでかい賢者の石となるととんでもない数の人間を材料に使ってそうで。できることならお目にかかりたくないね。
Your father's one. Technically. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Okay, so the father is a homunculus that split half of the people in Xerxes to gain a receptacle and to have a body, and is the person that is essentially creating all these issues and is the catalyst for everything that is ongoing. And Hohenheim is the unfortunate vessel of immortality because he never asked for it, but it was granted to him nonetheless because they share the same blood. So it was, I guess, required because they are connected by blood. They are linked to each other in the same way that Al and Ed are also linked to them both because they all share the same blood, which is why they're important sacrifices for what he's wanting to do. And Azumi is an important sacrifice because she has seen truth. So everyone that has seen truth is a sacrifice because Azumi sacrificed parts of herself in order to try and bring her child back, but it can't be returned because it's a reminder of her sin. Ed and Al have also seen truth. Hohenheim has also seen truth. So then they need someone else that has seen truth in order to complete this alchemical circle. But the only other person would be the father. But the father's not going to want to sacrifice himself because then he would get rid of his immortality, essentially. And that's not what he wants. So is this to overpower truth? Is this to gain access to truth and all the knowledge within and all the power within? Because the father opened the doorway. The father is also the one that granted himself and Hohenheim immortality, but at the same time sacrificed everyone in Xerxes by using the king as a pawn towards this goal of immortality that he created and contributed to this alchemical circle. Poor Hohenheim was just a pawn in all of this. All he wanted was a happy life and to be married and to have kids, and he did eventually have that, but it took hundreds of years before he eventually could get to that point. But holy shit, though. That's insane. That is genuinely insane. And now it makes sense as to why the brothers are seeking a Philosopher's Stone, because their father could be the key to getting them their bodies back. They're seeking their father as well as the Philosopher's Stone. They just don't know it yet because their father can be potentially the one to help them bridge the doorway and open the doorway. So then the two sages, the one that brought medicine and healing and alchemy, and the one that brought alchemy and weaponized it, could then be the father and be Hohenheim. Hohenheim says he knows quite a bit about medicine. So could he be the one that went to the east because he's been alive for a very long time, and the father's the one that brought the weaponization of alchemy to the west? And again, yin and yang, designed to counteract each other, but also designed to work in harmony and balance. Alchemy is something that Hohenheim knew, but maybe the alchemy that he taught to the east gained a new name. It's still alchemy, but it's known as alchemy, and it's focused on healing and medicine because that's what Hohenheim wanted to do with his life. He wanted to atone for all those that have been sacrificed and whose sacrifice grant him immortality. So then he is trying to find a way to counteract the father and the alchemy that he's spreading in the West by teaching it to the East. And the East are very perceptive to things being weird, to homunculi, to the power in the land being off and strange, because it would make sense if Hohenheim's the one that taught them alchemy but called it alchemy, but it is a form of alchemy, and that it's honed with the potential to seek out and destroy the father and the homunculus, whilst at the same time not harming those that have learned and practiced alchemy, because this alchemy can also be used for good. It's like balancing each other. They're designed to work in harmony with each other, but they're opposed right now. But when the true evil is erased, they could come together and work together and be united. Potentially, maybe. I don't know. This is crazy. I thought the homunculus in the jar at first was Pride because Pride is known as the first homunculus, but he's not technically the first homunculus. The first homunculus is the father, but Pride is technically the first homunculus to come from the father, to come from their blood, because their blood creates Philosopher's Stones, which is why they're not burdened by equivalent exchange, because they're Philosopher's Stones themselves. Oh, this is insane. This is crazy. Just when you think it couldn't get any wilder. I didn't know where this episode was going to go. I was like, oh, we're going to Briggs. We're going that way. And then we just get a whole Hohenheim flashback with Hohenheim being from Xerxes, Hohenheim being there when everyone was sacrificed, Hohenheim being a Philosopher's Stone, that Hohenheim gained knowledge to better his life from this homunculus in the jar who was manipulating everyone for their own design because they wanted power and control and to be free and to wreak havoc and chaos, and that's what they're doing. And Hohenheim essentially is trying to put a stop to that, has been trying to cease being immortal, but at the same time to prevent everything that's come to fruition because of this homunculus in the jar. Oh my god, I love this show. I love this show. My mind is blown. The show is so great at holding things close to its chest before it does big reveals, because I've been struggling to actually predict things with this show more so than I have with any other show. This one I am actively struggling to predict where I think things are going, because it's just written so well that the reveals are hidden and coded and really hard to decipher, that most of my predictions have probably not been accurate. I have been quite correct on a lot of things, but I've also been wrong on a lot of things as well. But it's been really difficult to kind of know the direction, because it throws you in like 500 different routes and everything is meaningful and important no matter how small it is. It's just wild. It's so good. I love this show. This show, amazing, phenomenal. Chef's kiss, absolutely, hands down, one of the best pieces of writing I have ever seen in my life. But I think that's all I want to say for now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. Until next episode, bye!